watching SKST Radio.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, Small Business Network, and today is Community Day, and since I have a good friend that I just met, well, actually, I kind of knew you a little bit from a long time ago, right? But she is a tenant now where I work, and she is doing phenomenal tasks in the community, and so, Miss Newman, welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you this morning.
Well, good to see you, girly. Well, let me tell you something. This lady has so much going on. She has a foundation. And first of all, we want to learn about her and how she got where she is. And then we're going to talk about the events she has coming up.
Yeah. So, hey, everyone. My name's Tanecia Newman, and I am the founder of New Man Fitness Foundation. And we focus on nutrition, exercise, and wellness. And that's an acronym. So our new program is Nutrition, Exercise, and Wellness. And we do this just to help strengthen our communities, particularly our minority and specifically the Black community. We are struggling in a lot of ways when it comes to our health. And we are experiencing deaths that can be preventable diseases, things of that nature. And now that we're in this space where everyone is recognizing how important mental health is, that is one of our main focuses in strengthening our community through health and making sure the mental health is a big part of what we do.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, how did you get involved in doing something like this?
Wow. It is a personal journey. It started with my personal journey, and health and wellness. Achieving that is a journey. It's not a destination. So in being able to implement self-care and be very intentional about my personal health, when I started seeing changes in my life, I knew that this was something that wasn't just for me. It was bigger than me. I had a responsibility to help other people achieve health and wellness and live an optimal life, live a life of fullness and purpose. And that's what I'm able to do each and every day through our foundation, through my everyday work as a fitness instructor, as a life coach, as a health and wellness coach. I get to do this each and every day. So I love it.
So, Miss Newman, are you a PhD?
No,
not a PhD. Okay,
not yet.
I didn't want to not say, PhD. I like to give the doctors their credit. But so the program that you do, you work with not only little kids, but you work with older people as well.
I do.
And so, how did you come from the babies to the older people? I didn't want to say grandpas or whatever, but I noticed that you have two different programs, and I thought that was just so cool that you would go from one to the other, and both need the health and strength. It's like, so how did you come up with that combination?
To be honest with you, everything that I do is led by the Spirit. I'm a woman of faith. God, I follow God's direction. Maybe not all the way clearly, sometimes a little bit of me get in there, but for the most part, it's all through prayer. And God told me specifically that those were my two areas of focus. Those are the two people that I need to focus on. And that was the children and the older adult population. And to be honest with you, no matter your age, we're human. So it's just being able to connect and provide simplistic solutions to connect with that human, that individual, meet them where they're at, implement programs that they will enjoy, and they'll be able to become self-sufficient in a lot of different ways.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did anything special happen to you before you realized, this is what God's asking me to do?
Oh, yeah.
So how did that, how did you feel when you realized that calling, that was your calling?
I felt honored, to be honest with you, because to be able to work with young folks, young people, even the teens, and meet them in a place in their life. We all have different stages in our lives where we're going through transition.
Mhm.
And for God to allow me to be able to meet different individuals at different stages in their life and speak to that stage, which could change the trajectory of their life.
Mhm.
Even with our older adults, I often start the class and say, "How do you feel?" The older adults tell me everything that's wrong with them.
Oh, my elbow hurts.
Right. They talk about everything that they can't do, but by the end of the class, they're smiling, they're happy because they're able to rotate that arm all the way back that they probably couldn't do due to arthritis, or they're able to do jumping jacks in a chair. We do modified moves like that. But I will share my story. Let me
Sure,
put this
please
over
do.
here. So for me, like I said before, it was a personal journey of healing. So I'm not going to go too deep, but I want to
Okay.
set the
Yeah.
timeline. So at 7 years old, I lost my dad, and I remember just sitting at his funeral, just crying, 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 crying. Did not understand why I was crying the way that I was crying. And then fast forward throughout the years, I was just in this place of torment, if you will. And I don't want to get too spiritual, but again, this is my story,
Right.
and this is
Right.
what got me to this place. So I lived a life of being misunderstood, being labeled, and I walked in those labels and those misunderstandings because of things that I went through. I wasn't allowed to grieve as a child, and oftentimes in our community, our Black community specifically, counseling isn't a big thing.
Yeah, it's not at all. We talk about that. No.
Yep. So
not
getting
allowed.
getting that mental health and getting that help that I needed as a child to deal with grief and loss wasn't provided to me. I did grow up in the church, but due to my lack of understanding what my emotions were, even going through adolescence and going through teenage years, it came through negative behavior because I wasn't taught and I wasn't given the skills to cope and be able to learn how to deal with these emotions that were just running rampant inside of me. So that came through what most people would label as promiscuousness. I don't know if I was supposed to put that ness on there. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce the word, but
It is today.
it is today. So promiscuous behavior. It came through just cycles of trauma and unhealthy relationships, even friendships. But what I thought were romantic relationships were abusive, all the way up through my teenage years. And then when I was 18 years old, I had my daughter. So I became a teenage mom. Was not financially stable, wasn't mentally fit to be able to raise a child, but I did. I had the support of my family, but I still was dealing with all of these things that were
Right.
going on inside of me, unhealthy, uncorrected, unhealed. There we go. Emotions. So fast forward. Oh, let me backtrack just for a moment. So even in that relationship with my child's father, that was very abusive. That was my first time ever being involved in a abusive relationship, to the point to where I thought I was going to lose my life several times. And it was the grace of God every time that swooped in and saved me. And then he was murdered when my daughter was 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So that's another loss that I've experienced.
Right.
And then the weight that I carried of now being a single mom and not knowing how I'm going to navigate this by myself.
Right.
So when he passed, there was still that grieving there. And I was grieving. I didn't know if I was relieved or if I was remorseful. I was relieved that I was getting out of an abusive relationship, but I was remorseful over the fact that now my daughter's going to have to be raised without a father. So then fast forward, I get married at the age of 28, and that was an abusive relationship as well. I ignored all the red flags that I knew that I've seen
Right. 'Cause
prior.
that's what you were comfortable with. So.
Right. But for me, I didn't identify that it was abuse because it did not come through physical. My first relationship was blatant physical abuse. I mean, any opportunity to put his hands on me, he did. But the second go round with my ex-husband, it came more so with mental and emotional abuse, and then spiritual abuse. That's what a lot of people do not recognize. And because as I was in a place in my life where I was trying to get back into seeking God, because there was a big gap where I just walked away. I got tired.
Wow.
I was trying to do everything on my own. I felt alone. I believed the lies that the enemy was telling me, that I was alone and I would never be protected. And later on in life, that's when I realized that's why I was crying at my dad's funeral so bad. At 7 years old, sitting on that front pew, crying my eyes out because I was being taunted and tormented by the hands or by the voice of the enemy telling me that I've lost everything. I've lost the one that would protect me. I
Yeah.
lost the one that would provide for me. I would never experience love again. So these are things that are being taunted in me at 7 years old.
Wow.
And I'm emphasizing on that because I want y'all to follow me. I'm gonna take this somewhere. So at 7 years old, that 12 behavioral issues, 15, I skipped this part. 15 was put in a behavioral health center because of my behavior.
Mhm.
It just got too much for my mom.
Mhm.
So she sought help in
Mhm.
that
Other
way.
Yeah.
And I thank her for that. And so here I am, 28, getting married. Now I have 2 children. So, and he's not the father of my children.
Right.
And so now I am wearing these labels and identifying with what people are saying I am. I'm a single mom, 2 kids, 2 different fathers.
Right.
You know, then I have this man who didn't have any children. So he comes in looking like the knight in shining armor to everyone on the outside.
Right.
So now I have to take that on and pretend like everything is good. But meanwhile, I'm being tormented in my own home, emotionally, mentally, even financially, but spiritually, because he would use the word to control our relationship.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
a little bit more advanced.
Than the other ones. That's
Yeah.
funny.
And a little bit more advanced than I was when it came to spirituality and our faith. He was studying to be a minister.
Mhm. I figured that when you said that. I knew that was going on.
He was studying to be a minister. So he would use that word to control what happened within our relationship and within the marriage. And then like I said, I ignored all the red flags, but it
Mhm.
wasn't until he put his hands on me that I said, oh no, I'm not going to do this,
Right.
especially with my children.
Right.
So I walked away, and I'm going to speed this up because I know
Oh,
we
no,
don't have.
you're good. You're good.
So I walked away and never turned back. And I prayed and I said, Lord, you said. So I challenged God because I can be a little thuggish sometimes. I even came at God. But that's what God will allow us to do as his children. That's how much he loves us. He wants us to remind him of his promise to us. I said, Lord, you said that I would have life, and not just any type of life, but I would live an abundant life. I said, this ain't abundant living. You are my father. You are supposed to be my provider. You're supposed to be my protector. How is this an abundant living life?
Right.
And God, in all of his mercy, allowed me to go back to my first love, which was dance. So I found a dance fitness platform and program that I started getting into, and that helped me battle postpartum depression because I was going through it with my daughter at the time, but that was prior to me getting married. And I was able to get myself to a place to where I was happier when I met my ex-husband. But I just took that on. I went full throttle with it. And I established a fitness business. It's a boutique fitness company. I get to travel to different facilities and locations and teach dance fitness. So
I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm part of a recreational therapy program at a behavioral health center for kids.
Wow.
So where God had put me at 15 years old because of my negative behavior, I now get to go back.
Oh, wow. And give back.
And give back.
And give back. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
And then the reason why I'm very intentional with the children, I believe God led me to the children because where the devil tried to attack me at the age of 7. So because I did not have that outlet as a child, I am now able to provide an outlet for children. to
Wonderful.
where people can speak life into them. We can dance and move and have fun.
Mhm.
And that is therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Whereas you, instead of you being told to sit down and shut up and go somewhere and sit down, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So now we've created an atmosphere and an environment where kids can just come and be kids.
Yeah.
And if they do display not so positive behavior, we'll redirect them,
Mhm.
you know, but we'll do it in love.
Right. Right. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And then with the seniors, you know, God says our latter days will be greater.
Mhm.
And I have to remind them of that. And it's an honor that I get to go in and facilitate these classes to where I can show them, even in your later age, these can still be your best days.
Right.
So that's my story, and that's how it all connects.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely love it. I love it. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after these messages. If you're just now tuning in, you haven't tuned in too late. You're tuned in to the SKST Radio, the Cammie Grayson Show, and I have Miss Newman here giving us her story and all the cool things that she's been going through and overcame, and now look at her. Just, I mean, I'm very very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
So, okay, so now you have a big community event that's coming up on April 22nd.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So April, oh, happy April.
Happy-
It's the first day of
It's the day,
April.
it's first day of April.
Yay.
Yes.
All right. So April is Minority Health Awareness Month, and or Minority Health Month. And it's an opportunity for us to be able to raise awareness about minority health and just help speak to, like I said before, the things that we deal with on a regular basis, those chronic diseases, the disparities between minorities in healthcare. And this event is a way to bring the community together to connect them with resources. So we will have fitness activities taking place, blood pressure checks, different types of health screenings, mental health screenings. We'll also be providing nutrition education. We'll have a few speakers. Excuse me, y'all. My throat, the pollen is thick this year.
It is. You see me drinking water. Y'all never see me drinking water on the set. So
yeah, I got my medicine ball from Starbucks up here today. So yeah, it's just a way to make sure that we get these resources in a centralized location for folks to be able to come out and get what they need and be connected with things that they didn't even know existed.
Right.
Dental care, all that good stuff that speaks to our overall health.
I'm very excited about this event.
I am
Very
too.
excited about this event. So the cool thing is it's free. The community is welcome to come out and support. So tell people how they can, tell them where the location is and how they can sign up if they need to sign up.
Yeah, so it'll be located right inside of MacArthur Center. So that's downtown Norfolk. It's in a very centralized location. It's very easy to access, whether you drive and park at the mall, whether you get on the, what is that called? The tram?
Yeah, the transit, the trolley looking thing, the transit.
Yeah. Whether you park and get on that. And actually, that makes a great outing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Those are
so
fun.
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you drive and it'll drop you off just moments away from the doorstep. But it's centralized for that reason. We put it all in an area to where folks, no matter where you're coming from, it'll probably be about a 15-minute drive, wherever direction you're coming from in Hampton Roads, whether you're going through the tunnel, the HRBT, or you just live up the road. It's in a place that we are definitely going to be able to reach the community.
Right. And so not only is she doing this event, but she's also reaching out for people who want to donate, who want to give to the cause. We're going to have kids there. So, anything you want to donate, you can reach out to this lady. She can tell you exactly what her needs are, and we can also go back and repost her needs on the site. You do have her information that's on our YouTube. When you go to this and go back and look at it, it's there. all of her contact information is there as well. So yeah, so tell people what you might need to make this event successful.
Absolutely. Thank you. So what we do need, we are going to need health related vendors. So what that means is that whatever your business is, we're all about small business, but we are looking specifically for health related. So if you sell scrubs, uniforms, things like that, come on out and be a vendor. If you are in the medical field, come on out and be a vendor.
Dentists.
Dentists,
Yeah.
yes. Private practices, public practices. We will have the Department of Health on site. And the vendor fee, if you are a for-profit, if you're not a government entity, thank you so much. If you're not a government entity and you're a private practice, there is a small vendor fee. It is only $75. And the reason for that, that money is circulated right back into the work that we do for the community to provide them access to regularly programmed fitness classes and things like that, nutrition, education, wellness support services. So if someone can't afford a life coach or a counselor, that those monies go right back into being able to assist someone with those types of services and expenses that are associated with it. What else is there? Oh, and if you are a health related business and you want to, if you can't afford the vendor fee for whatever reason, but you can exchange your services. So let's say that you are a podiatrist. You don't want to pay the fee, but you are able to examine someone's foot there or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. No. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you can donate your services in exchange, just to get your name out there, especially if you're new in your practice, this would be a great opportunity for you. And again, you'll be at the MacArthur Center, which is centrally located, and it has a lot of people. Normally at these events, MacArthur Center is usually packed. So, so I'm sure she's going to have a lot of people at this event. And if you want to get your name out there, this is the place for you.
Yep. And you have the opportunity to get some news coverage. You know, we're going to get the news out there covering the event. So get your organization or your business in front of some eyes.
Yeah. So, and if you're interested in sponsoring this program, most definitely she will have all of your handles and your logos on her social media pages and on her flyers and things like that too. So we could use your help. I mean, to make this successful, you know, we in the community, we're in all this together, and you know, she can't do it by herself.
And I don't want to.
So let's do it. Let's do what we can to help her. And even if if you could just give a little donation to the cause, but this is, she probably is going to need waters, at this event. She's going to need a lot of different things to make this successful. And so please give, help. And then her foundation is still going on after this event. So again, she's working with children, she's working with older people, and she's teaching them fitness, and she could use equipment and things like that too for her actual program.
Yeah, so you all, the website is very easy. It's N as in November, M as in mother, F as in Frank, and then the word foundation.org. So that's nmffoundation.org. Feel free to go there, navigate through the website, see all the wonderful works that we do for the community, and then hit that donate button. You can't be there.
She got a button. No,
we have
push the button.
We have several donate buttons on that.
Push the button.
Yeah, so hit that donate button. If you can't be there in person, you can always sow a seed, and it will be put to great use. This is good ground that you'll be sowing in.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so words of wisdom. I love this part. Okay, so if you can give someone advice who's doing what you're doing or trying to get to where you are, what type of advice would you give them as a business owner?
Oh, yeah. First thing that I am a huge advocate of is self-care. Take care of yourself first, and whatever way that looks like. But I have to say this, a healthy way of taking care of yourself. So if that looks like taking a nap throughout the day, I used to get joked all the time for sleeping and taking a nap. But now that I'm more wiser, I understand that those naps was part of me allowing myself to revitalize, to recharge again, because there was just so much happening in my life. But So self-care.
Mhm.
Do what you need to do for you, and then find someone that you can connect with that can hold you accountable.
Nice.
So accountability partner, whether that's someone close to you or you just investing in your own coach. A
Mhm.
coach needs a coach. An instructor needs an instructor.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, self-care, healthy outlet, and you cannot do anything for anyone else until you're where you need to be.
Right. You can't help others if you can't help yourself.
That's
That's what
right.
she's saying.
That's
Well, you know what, Miss Newman, I appreciate you being on the show. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this is a wealth of information and knowledge, and I want you to come back.
I
I
will.
want you to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, this wraps up another show at SKST Radio, the Cammie Grayson Show, community focus. Bye for now. Tell them bye.
Bye, y'all.